guys, let's really dig into the Aroldis Chapman trade and the implications now. And Brian Cashman was in no rush to do anything. He was listening to a lot of offers. But, Jack, he finally got one from the Cubs and jumped on it. Why?
Those offers were coming, Bob, and the reason he jumped on that Cubs offer is because he got a package of players that he simply could not say no to. It's not a surprise that Chapman was the first Yankee traded. This is a guy whose average fastball this year is over 100. This is a guy who throws 105. What team who is contending would not want to have a pitcher like that at the end of a game? And then for the Yankees, they were dealing from a position of strength. They still have Betances. They still have Miller. So the 8th and the 9th aren't the problem. They still have to figure out the 7th.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever say that a trade is easy for a GM, but when you get 4 players from the Chicago Cubs for Chapman, which is basically a 2-month rental, a really good rental for 2 months. But when you get these 4 players back, if you're Brian Cashman, you have to go for this deal. Adam Warren comes back to the Yankees. They know what he has. But I think of this from a player's perspective in the clubhouse in Houston this afternoon. This is a trade that Cashman makes, and everybody in that clubhouse understands it. You're not throwing in the towel that the season's over. We're trading everybody. You have strength at the end of the bullpen. Miller now moves to the closer's role. You try to figure out that 7th inning, but every player in that clubhouse understands this deal.
They know Warren can slot right back onto the major league team, 6th or 7th inning. And then future-wise, Glaber Torres, he is a shortstop, and I know you fielded a lot of questions on Twitter why you'll get another shortstop. Well, here's the answer.
Well, the answer, Bob, is you stockpile talent. And if the player that you desire happens to be a shortstop, and you already have shortstops, Didi Gregorius is 26, Jorge Mateo, who was the Yankees' best prospect, is also a shortstop. You don't worry about that. You take this kid, and then you figure out where he's going to play in the future. He's the Cubs' best prospect. He's a top 30 prospect in Major League Baseball. There are some people who thought just getting him alone for Chapman would have been enough. Not only did the Yankees get him, John, they get Warren and the other 2 players we mentioned.
And, Jack, he's 19 years old, putting up these numbers in a league where the average age is 2 years older than that. So, I mean, that's exciting when you think about the offensive ability. We saw him playing the field at shortstop. 19 years old, you let him go play. You figure out where he's going to fit down the road. I'm more concerned about Adam Warren immediately. Why did he struggle in Chicago? What was the problem? Did he get traded there? Maybe tried to do a little bit too much. It never got going. He comes back to a familiar situation with the Yankees. Larry Rothschild. He knows what his role is going to be. I think he's going to slot in just fine.
Great point. He could be just fine.